Ba-da-doo! Ba-da-da-doo! Ba-da-da-doo! Ha-da-da-da! Da-da-da-doo! Zupa-ba-da, zuta-da-da, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ooh. When you don't know the words, just do mouth sounds. Good morning, Star Chaser! Hey, Reds fan! Jamek Unyielding is scared! Good. Your fear is well placed. Bully for you is certainly challenging, especially if you don't have, like, all of the champions. I think I might stand a chance now. I've got, like, 50 champions? Maybe? Hold up. Let me just check real quick. Who do I have and how many of there are you? There's, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, nice. 10 per row. Well, that makes it pretty easy on the blacksmithing contracts table. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 47. I have 47 champions, so I would lose half of them. I would lose half of them if I did Bully for You. I feel like if I played super smart, I could do it. So I probably couldn't, because I'm a dummy. I do have quite a few rogues or drow. Not all of them. Still need some. I think I got all the drow, at least. There's not actually a lot of those. Just our Laxel, Viconia, Baloth, and Dritz. Is that it for drow? That feels like enough drow. Oh yes, and Cthulhu. Yeah, okay, so 5 drow. Jeez, yeah, that's plenty. Out of 99 champions, 5 of them are drow? Okay, yeah, that's a lot. There's so many elves in general. How many non-drow elves are there, for that matter? Because drow are just, like, one of the sub-races of elves. Delina, there's Ayla, there's Lucius, and there's Melf. Morgane. It's 5. Vlania's an Eladrin, and in 5th edition, that's a type of elf. That's 6. Walnut is 7. Alindra is 8. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so there's 8? Oh wow, that distracted me so much I missed the countdown. Haha! I did count Lucius, yes. So I believe that's 8 non-drow elves. So wow, out of 99 champions, 13 are elves. That's a lot of elves. Okay, well, at this point, we should just wait for the song to end. I'd counted Walnut, yes. "20 seconds. Bop. There we go. Theme song time. Here's a man who puts baby to shame. His hands of magic, idle champions his game. He's got a cup of tea for wetting his whistle. His advice is on point like a magic missile. Hey Mars, we got questions for you. Hey Mars, we need your guidance too. From your guiding hand. Look sharp. Yeah. Alright. And away we stream! Greetings, champions. Welcome to Mars Guiding Hand. I'm Mars. This is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, the free-to-play, officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons formation strategy management video game from Codename Entertainment. On this show, we take a look at the latest content, discuss strategies, and answer any questions that you may have about the game. Only you. Not that guy, not that person, only you. No, everybody. Everybody is welcome. So get cozy, grab a drink, join me as we take a deeper look at all things Idle Champions. Today is Thursday, April 21st, 2022. It is episode 182. Hello. Welcome. Good to have you. The D&D Direct is today. Very, very soon. Right after this show, actually. That's what the code is about today. Because this show is direct before the D&D Direct. Get it? I was trying to be funny. Anyway, hello. Glad to see you all. I hope you're doing okay today. We do have some leftover questions. Just a couple. So we'll be getting through that. Also, I'd like to thank Jordan, my moderator and producer today, who will be catching your questions. So if you have questions for me, throw them in chat. Jordan will grab them and put them in the questions document for me. It was the stranger with no hat or glasses and a blue shirt. It's me. Surprise, it's me again. I like to change things up. I am being very direct about it, yes, Julie. Anyway, a quick check-in on my two accounts. They're both on Mad Wizard right now, actually. They're both of them. This is I think the first time that I've ever had them in, like, the 5.5 months that I've been playing the Epic account. I think this is the first time that I've had them on doing the exact same task. Like, I've had them both playing the event before, but usually in different places. But here I've got my Steam account grinding through Mad Wizard on automation, repeat up to stage 680 and then resetting. And then I've also got this. My Epic account is also grinding through Mad Wizard. And why is that? Well, it's because I realized this morning I have fewer than 500 stages to go to get to level 3 on my Mojang core. so that I can have automation going. This is really exciting! So that's soon. Very soon. I think my click damage has reached its zenith in the next few stages here. So I'm only going to have to reset it anyway. Yeah, that boss didn't die in one hit, so I should probably reset and make this go again. I know, right? I'm also hoping for Spelljammer. I am absolutely on team Spelljammer confirmed. That's what I'm hoping for. It would make so many people happy. It would be so exciting. The hat is actually on screen. It's right back here. That's where it sits when I'm not wearing it. I keep it right back there on top of that little bookcase, but facing the camera so that it's still like part of the decoration. All right, let me just set up this team so that they can grind through Mad Wizard again, and then we'll be continuing to play the new variants that were added yesterday on my Steam account. And instead of, like, jumping around to all the different ones to check them all out, we'll just actually play through them now. Because I think we started all but one of them, and then abandoned ship, just so that we could, like, check out what the rules were, and, like, how it felt. And we did a lot of experimenting with like, exactly how the key champions are chosen and then re-rolled. You have to clear a variant to make those key champions for the new variants re-roll. It doesn't have to be one of the new variants that you clear, but you do have to clear a variant. We checked and saw that doing a Trials of Mount Tiamat daily quest also does not change that either. Yeah, I did break the game. It did say all rust for everything at one point, but when we actually, like, dug into that a little bit more, that didn't actually matter. Like, even though it said rust for everything, I wasn't actually able to use rust for everything. Like, when I ended that adventure so that I could start one of the other ones that said, like, oh, hey, you should totally use this tanking champion, Rust! Because that would be silly. At that point, it changed and it was corrected, and it didn't actually matter. So I guess it was just like a weird little display bug that only happens when you're still in the adventure. So in actual execution, it doesn't matter. All right. Oh, let's kill this boss to get gems, and then get out of here. Yeah, okay. And that. All right, let's start making the rounds. We got a lot of variants to chew through. I've got 9 to get through. I'm going to try to do whichever ones I can today. Hopefully finish the rest tomorrow. Oh, I didn't actually finish Pixie and a Pear Treant. Okay, so if you were here yesterday, check this out. This variant's neat. There's an NPC escort who takes up 3 spots in the formation simultaneously. That's very cool. There are those of us who have been waiting and hoping for this kind of tech to be in the game, because this might open up the door for potentially champions that take up multiple slots on the field, which could be very interesting. Anyway, alright, let's actually get some champions out here. Who do I want? Let me put these away. Alright, who do I want? We could go with Cthulhu. We could go with... Oh, there's Talon. Spurt or Brig. Desmond. Definitely going with Desmond, for sure. And then I might as well go with Spurt on top of that, to get even more Lament the Lost. Keelik, Dadius, Sander, Viconia. A lot of options there. Oh, there's Ashara. Where is Ashara? Oh, we still had Madness Peaks going. I didn't realize that we did. Chip Freely. Okay. Hitch, probably. Birdsong. I need a tank. Coria. Warden, Solis? Solis. Yep, I remember this now. Because this one is only champions with a constitution of 12 or lower can be used. And Solis, for whatever reason, has an 11 constitution despite being a tank champion. Which is weird, but also, in this case, I'm thankful for it. Okay, let's do that. Let's bring Freely along. Go ahead and level up Spurt. Cinepult, so you don't really have to worry about his positioning as much. I'll put a familiar on his ultimate so that he's constantly getting smashed. For Desmond, I'll just take Embrace the Beast because I like attack speed. I think I was setting up a Birdsong as my DPS for this. So we'll do that again. Which means for Freely, I want him to be in Chaos. Okay, and let's see. How do I actually want to set this up? We'll do like that. Freely's position doesn't matter. You can go back here. Okay, and Warden. Sure. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. We're gonna let that one ride. Take that off. And take that off. I don't want to be automatically loading up my speed teams for this. I want to actually think about what my champions are going to be. Oh, you're right. Birdsong is lawful. I always think that she's chaotic. My bad. Let's fix that. Oh. I reset the wrong specializations. It's Freely. There we go. Nope. Not Chaos again, Mars. It's Law. Come on. Alright. All is as it should be now. Good. Lawful bards are illegal. Well, we have one. In fact, we have two. Keelik is also a lawful bard. Alright, so, we got some leftover questions. Starting with Foolish Genius. Question, thoughts on a champion that is literally an awakened animal like a wolf or something? I welcome the idea. I would like that. I have played a D&D character who was an awakened swarm of bees, and I have played a D&D character that was an awakened magic amulet. And it was a lot of fun. So yes, I think things that can talk, that normally shouldn't be able to talk, can be a very fun character concept. So yeah, I welcome an awakened animal, or plant, or rock, or anything else as a champion. I think that could be fun. And Alex Byrne, follow-up, does this allow you to postpone forced favor conversions if you still have one party stuck in that event, or how do these things interact? So, Alex Byrne is asking about the fact that I have a backup party still in a Gosrick free play. What's going on with that? So what's going on with that, if you still have a party in an event when the event ends, it doesn't kick you out. That party is still in this free play. I still have this Gosrick free play going. And it still uses my event favor that I still have, because I haven't converted yet. If I do convert my favor over, then I will lose my favor for green grass. And so if I switch over to my green grass adventure, I'll see that I currently have 0 favor, because I just converted all of it away. And then I can actually play through this free play and get favor, and then end my free play, and now suddenly I have more favor to convert. So that is how those things interact, Alex Byrne. You can actually get multiple favor conversions if you have background parties that are doing an event when the event ends. I mean, it's an exploit. But it's been around for a long time now, and I don't know when it's getting fixed. So, enjoy it while you can, I guess. Alright, and onward to the new questions! Huzzah! Joe D, yay! Question, Mars, are you familiar with the Adeptus Mechanicus of Mars? No, I'm not. I have heard the name. Isn't that a Warhammer thing? The Adeptus Mechanicus? Isn't that a Warhammer thing? I'm not super familiar with the Warhammer universe. They are a 40k thing? Yeah. They're like techno-priests? Is that it? Or tech priests? Techno-priests, I guess. That'd be like a sweet dance party. Yeah. I know very little. I have heard the terms, and I guess, like, I know about as much about the Warhammer 40k universe as you might expect if, like, I had taken a College 101 course on the Warhammer 40k universe, but slept through most of the classes. So, like, I was there, I had the textbook, I was taking notes, but I'm not paying attention. Not at all. I was sleeping through most of the classes, failing every test. So I'm largely unfamiliar with it. But, yeah, if you say the word Adeptus Mechanicus around me, then I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a Warhammer thing. But thanks for asking, Joe. That was fun. Oh, actually, a quick little fun fact. The first miniatures that I ever owned were Warhammer miniatures. A co-worker of my mother's, when I was a little kid, had Warhammer armies that they went to the local gaming shops and they did their battles and all that. And my mother took me because she knew I was a little nerd at heart and that I was eager to experience this wide world of all things tabletop gaming. She's a good mom. And she took me to see these guys, the Warhammer battles. And I watched, and I had no idea what was going on. But I saw all these miniatures on the table, and they looked so cool. And so, when the battle was over, her coworker friend gave me 3 miniatures from his army for me to keep. And those are my very first minis. I still have them. They are not nearby. I would need to dig them up. But yeah, I guess there was a divergence point in my life where I could have become a Warhammer kid, but I did not. I became a D&D kid just because I enjoyed the miniatures primarily. Anyway, Foolish Genius question. So if you are Mars, I am. Does that make us viewers Martians? No. See, I don't like that. I don't like that. If it was my own channel, but it's not. This is the Codename channel. So we are champions. Except we also have other shows, right? We have other shows. We have Bushwhacker, the only show that is not in some way related to Idle Champions. So maybe if there was like a code name fandom name specifically. Code Namers? That doesn't really roll off the tongue. We'll keep workshopping it, I guess. I like champions. I like saying greetings, champions, and that's fun. That's nice to say. So that works for me for now. Foolish Genius, again, Question, here's your daily reminder to look at the changelog. Thank you, because that is a habit that I want us to get into. So let's check out the changelog. Nope, still nothing different from yesterday. Added 10 new nature-themed adventure variants across 5 campaigns. Except only like 3 of them are actually... like 2 or 3 of them are actually nature-themed, and the rest are just... extant. We played through 1 yesterday, and we started 8 of the other ones, and then bounced. So we're actually going to play through them now, for real. Gallifrey Sun. Morning, Mars. I was wondering if I am overvaluing Strix's haunted ability. Probably. It's okay, but you don't really see Strix being talked about a lot in, like, popular discussion. She's not often referenced as, like, one of the meta champions, one of the, like, oh, must-have, go-to, like, #1 priority kind of champions in the game. Once upon a time, real talk, she used to be. There was a period where she was the top DPS in the game. And it's not that she became weaker. It's just that other champions became stronger. So she is still a solid choice if you choose to invest in her as a DPS. Just don't expect, like, the highest possible results. It'll still be pretty good. She is not in any way a bad champion. But she's not one of, like, the strongest. Haunted is... also, just, it's annoying to set up, because you're just having to let enemies kill off your team over and over and over and over and over to get any value out of it. I vaguely recall someone doing the math and figuring out that there is, like, a certain point where it actually becomes, like, extremely strong, but it's, like, 10,000 stacks or something like that, which takes forever to do. And you have to do that for each run. It's a lot of work. I'm not interested in that, personally. Eknor, question. In Trials of Mount Tiamat, is it better to deep push on the first run, or just go to the daily goal, then reset, and go for a deep push? Either, honestly. You don't have to do a deep push, per se. Like, if you want the favor for the conversion sake, then sure, you could do that. But what you actually want to do is just, like, get the most damage that you possibly can. So, whatever point that you reach level cap, and then set up an optimized formation, and let your team hit stuff for a while, and then reset, that's what you really need to do. You don't actually need to get to, like, stage 1200 or something like that, and you don't really need to do a deep push in the sense of going as far as you can. You should do a deep push for the sake of leveling up your team as much as you can and arranging a formation so that you can hit something as hard as you can. Because then you get bonus DPS for Trials of Mount Tiamat. And if you can do that on your first run, great. But if you need to do that on your second or third or fourth or whatever run, once you've had the favor and then you can actually reach your level cap, then that's fine too. So whichever one works for you. I wouldn't say that one method is necessarily better than the other. So whichever works for you. Letus, random question. Is there any functional use for Eliwick's Flames card? Monsters 100% damage and speed. I mean... Okay, so... Eliwick, where are you? There you are. Flames. Grants 1 Flames stack when this card is drawn. All monsters move 100% faster and deal 100% more damage while this card is active. For each flame stack you have, stacking additively. All flame stacks persist after the card is discarded. Okay, so the monsters move faster, which, if you are in a position where maybe you don't have, like, you're not using familiars to try to click damage your way through it, like, if you're in some kind of situation where you want monsters to reach your team, maybe because you want the stacking, like, the ramping buff that some tanks have for tanking multiple enemies at the same time, then I guess that can be useful there. Of course, the enemies are also dealing more damage, so that's risky. There are some champion achievements that could probably benefit from enemies moving faster so that they are reaching your team faster. I wouldn't say that there is a very large, high-powered functionality that benefits you for the Flames card. You could probably squeeze some goodness out of that. But for the most part, Flames is pretty much just bad for you. Moobot, you're doing it again! Yeah, Moobot needs some coffee or tea. I'll share my tea with you, Moobot. Drink up. There you go. Reds fan, question. Mars, instead of 12 days of Christmas, will it be 12 days of D&D ending with Pixie and a pear tree? Yes. And a pixie and a pear tree. I love how happy the tree ant looks. Also, I just noticed the enormous chin on this tree ant. It's huge. I like how the eyes are the same color as the pears on the tree ant. I don't know if that's actually true, but to my color vision deficient eyes, this is the same color, the eyes and the pears. It just looks good. On squared, hiya Mars. Can you give a quick assessment of the trial we started yesterday? If I understand it correctly, I think day 1 went well. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Let's check in on both of my trials groups. Okay, so this one's going well. Yeah, so we started this one on Tuesday. And, we're doing fine. Yeah, this is not a problem. None of us have to do anything anymore at this point. We're just coasting out the rest of it. And over on my Epic account, the trial that I started yesterday, this is how much we did day 1. Day 1 we did that much. So let's see, that's, I'm putting my hand on the screen here. 2, 3. We should take down Tiamat before the end of day 4, I think. So, yeah, we are also doing just fine. This is... we could just coast at this point. We don't have to do the rest of the daily trials objectives. Like, this whole team, we could just ride this out to the end. And we'll be fine. So yeah, good job, team. Looks like, as far as I can tell, Jarlaxle is ahead. Followed by G-Guy, then Mishra, then Crazy Matt Captain, and then myself bringing up the rear. Very weak. But we got it done, that's what matters. Yeah, of course. No, don't worry about it. You're fine, Onyx, you're fine. No, this is going well. It's normal difficulty. It would be very hard to screw this up. It is the weakest that Tiamat will ever be. It's an easy one. The higher difficulties are, much more frightening. Much more frightening. Level up my team while I'm here. Okay, and how's the core doing? Oh! Fewer than 100 stages. It's like 70 stages to go. Oh my gosh. So close. So close! Alright, back to questions. Joe D, yay! How do I make Averin as broken as everyone says? How do I make him OP? Well, you don't have to do much. Averin is already just very strong already. Can I use Averin here? No, unfortunately. So, when it comes to Averin, actually, at the very least, I can just bring up his character mechanics. There we go. Averin casts Mirror Image every 15 seconds. The image lasts for 30 seconds and buffs its target depending on their tags. Seeing Double increases the damage of all champions by a % multiplicative for each champion adjacent to Averin. The base amount is increased by 50% for each active Mirror Image effect on the adjacent champion. So, you want lots of Averin's Mirror Images on the field simultaneously. You want to make sure that your DPS is getting a mirror image, and you want to make sure that Averin is adjacent to as many of those mirror-imaged champions as you can. So your first specialization choice is an alignment choice. Just pick whichever alignment is the matching with your DPS. And then your second choice, always choose Sturdy Mirrors. That's the left specialization for the second specialization choice. Because that doubles the duration that the mirror images stay around. Instead of lasting for 30 seconds, they last for 60 seconds. Which means, since he casts mirror image every 15 seconds, you can have up to 4 mirror images on the field at the same time, instead of only up to 2. Which then further powers up Seeing Double if those mirror images have landed on champions that are adjacent to Averin. At that, I mean, just make sure that you have a good slot 3 and slot 4 item. That's for the mirror image and Seeing Double. If you can get those as epics or golden epics or shinies or just high item levels, that is good. Feats, prioritize mirror image and Seeing Double. It's just, he's all about mirror image and Seeing Double. Just make these work for you. That's it. Honestly, he's really easy to use, which is one of the reasons why he's such a powerful choice for people to pick up. Because you don't have to do a lot of mental gymnastics to make him work for you. Raphael 90340, question, Mars, have you played Crusaders of the Lost Idols? I did, back in, like, I think, late year 2 of Idol Champions. I opened up Crusaders of the Lost Idols so I could play around with that. I wanted to see, like, you know, where it all began. We wouldn't have Idol Champions without Crusaders of the Lost Idols. Because Idol Champions originally was kind of just a reskin of Crusaders. Like, there's a lot of similarities between Idol Champions on its initial release and Crusaders of the Lost Idols. Some differences, sure, but like there was a lot of overlap there. So I wanted to go back and play Crusaders, kind of see like where it all started, and kind of give me some ideas of like what Idol Champions might become if it keeps going and going and going, which it has, thankfully. So I played Crusaders for about a week, and it just didn't really grip me. It wasn't really for me. I didn't really love it. It was okay. Which is a shame. Like, I had hoped that I would be really into it. But I wasn't. It's funny, then, that I ended up playing Bushwhackers Bushwhacker 2 recently, like within the last month, and actually have been enjoying that. Even though that's very different than Idle Champions. And it helps that the community gave me such a warm welcome, too. That was nice. So yes, I have dabbled with Crusaders, but Idle Champions has my heart. Jodan! Sound like a Godzilla monster, and I love it. I am not expecting to have anyone to help me with Tiamat. Is it still doable? If you're on normal difficulty? Probably, yeah. It will be a challenge, depending on how strong your team is. On my Epic account, my highest average item level on any of my champions is 50 on Minsk. And even with that, I feel fairly confident that I could solo normal difficulty Trials of Mount Tiamat. I feel like I could. It wouldn't be easy, I think, but I think I could. So, if I can do it, you can do it. I won't speak for higher difficulties, because that's a whole other bag of worms. But at least normal difficulty, you probably can. I'd give it a shot at least. You lose nothing by trying. Nothing but time, anyway. Letus, is there a better attack animation than Dahani? That's a good question. That's fun. I like that. Let me think. There are some really good attack animations in the game. You know, one that I really like... I don't think I can use them. Yeah, I can't. Torgar is cool because... Oh, and I've got his miniature right here. There he is. There's Torgar. He's so cool with his flaming scimitars. Yeah. Anyway, when Torgar goes into attack, before he charges in, he, like, twirls his swords. He does, like, a little flourish with his swords before he rushes in. And I think that's so cool. I think that's so cool. There's a lot of really good attack animations in the game. Actually, chat. What's your favorite attack animation among the champions? Does anyone have a favorite or just one that they really like? Torgar's sword flips or the little flourish, I really like that. I would like if more champions had pointless flourishes like that. I just think it's fun. All the great sword attacks, they are satisfying to watch. Just... It makes me want to go play more Elden Ring. They just buffed Colossal weapons, and I'm like, yes! Unga bunga. It's time to bonk things. Stokey? Yeah, the punch for punch, punch for punch, punch for punch. Tatiana's rage is cool, yes. Oh, Viconia's animate dead. Yeah! And I love how, like, it is... Some of the champions, it's hard to tell if their abilities are actually working. Viconia's is perhaps the most obviously working ability. It is hard to not notice the animated corpse on the field dealing damage in a radius around it. You get some very instant, very obvious visual satisfaction out of Viconia's animate dead. Yeah. Yeah, good old-fashioned backstab from Jarlaxle. Which is even funnier when he comes back to the formation and he's still flipped around backwards. And now he's just, like, moonwalking backwards with the rest of the team marching forward. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Jarlaxle is fun. Talon is the cooler Jarlaxle animation. Jarlaxle. The cooler Jarlaxle. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, too, because, like, in Talon's backstory, he worked with Jarlaxle. Like, Jarlaxle was like an inspirational figure to Talon. Vi's Blunderbuss? I mean, yeah, give a gnome a gun and just watch what happens. You're gonna have a weird time, of course. Kroll's ghouls are awesome. Yeah. Ghoul Pool! The Krolltimate. The Krulling. Whatever you want to call it. The fact that it's been given so many nicknames by the community really tells you all you need to know about how useful that ultimate is. Oh yeah, when Ashara, like, takes flight, gets up in the air and starts flying, that is really cool. I would like if more champions had things like that. Where their entire attack animation changes based on what the enemies are doing. Like, Desmond works like that. Desmond brings out his swords when the enemies are actually, like, attacking the formation. Oh yeah, when Penelope puts on the Chwinga mask. That is so cool. I love masks. You'd think there would be more masks. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but, like, I feel like masked figures are a prevalent trope in fantasy storytelling, and you would think that there would be more of that happening in Idle Champions as a result, but there's really not a lot of masked characters at all. Turiel immediately comes to mind. Penelope with her Chwinga mask. I'm having a hard time coming up with other masked champions. Oh yeah, Archon, once he's got his stacks and he starts with the fire breath, which can make your game lag super hard when you're on high speed. But yeah, that is also a cool one. Oh yeah, Black Viper is technically wearing a mask. It's just for her eyes, but that is a mask. Thank you, Reaver. Oh yeah, Xeraphon. Xeraphon's got, like, a mask over their mouth. So, okay, there's a few. Between Black Viper and Xeraphon, there is one full mask between them. So now, which one has the best mask? So for me, it's between Penelope and Turiel. The Chwinga mask from Penelope, or just, like, the cracked dragon mask that Turiel wears. You know, it just hit me, like, it looks very, Skyrim. You know, the dragon priest masks in Skyrim. It reminds me of those. That is a super cool mask. Man, you know, like, if there was any one champion in the game that I would want to cosplay, it might be Turiel. This is such a cool outfit, and especially the mask and the staff. Oh! Love that guy. Oh, I don't know which one specifically, Reds fan. It's been years since I've played Skyrim. Gallifrey Sun. Mars, what is your recommendation for my next Slot 3 champion to unlock? Well, I don't know which ones you have. So, speaking from, like, a neutral point of having no idea who you actually have already. In this slot, Binwin and Brig and Mehen are probably, like, lower priorities for me. And Grama, Omen, and Spurt, higher priorities, and Artemis, like, right in the middle. You have Evergreens and Grama. Okay, so you have Nayeli and you have Grama. And that's it. Okay, so who's your main DPS, Gallifrey? Are you an Ashara main, or Zorbu main, or Have you not really actually settled on, like, who your main DPS is currently? Because that also matters. You haven't settled? Okay, that's fine. So, if you go with Ashara DPS, Gromma works for Potpourri. Omen works for Half-Bloods. Spurt works for Short Folk. So you've got some differences there to work with. But also, if you haven't settled on your DPS, you could get started with Artemis DPS. You could pick up Artemis and swing into doing Artemis stuff. But Artemis requires some significant investment to really get going. Like, I've got a Golden Epic Legendary Flute here. Which is that's his most important item to get, is his flute, his slot 3. But even with that, my Artemis still doesn't really even come close to my Ashara DPS output. I need a lot more item levels on my Artemis to really make him competitive with my other DPS options. Even my Zorbu beats out my Artemis right now. So it really depends on, like, what's important to you. I would have suggested Gromma, but you already have Gromma. I use Omen in my Ashara formations and also my Azaka farming, so he gets more use than Spurt for me, generally. If you are a fan of using Desmond, Desmond's Lament the Lost ability gains a stack if Spurt is in spirit form. So Desmond and Spurt are like best friends. If you use Desmond, you should pick up and use Spurt. Gromma was the first one I recommended long ago. Nice, nice. Well, I hope that she has served you well. I really do feel like she's a good choice. Yeah, Gromma is fantastic. So, yeah, between Omen or Spurt or Artemis, you can't really go wrong. Mehen is better now than he used to be. Used to be worse, now he's better. But I haven't really used him a lot yet because I'm still waiting on that third specialization to go through the pipeline. Yeah. Hopefully that helps. I gave you some things to consider. You're leaning towards Spurt if he plays well with Desmond? Yeah, he definitely does. Like, Spurt already gives good support value. So, like, here's my Spurt. Whoop. Centipede Net. Increase the damage to champions within 2 slots by 6E9. Buffed an additional 10% every 10 seconds, up to 30 stacks, while Spurt is a spirit. Here's Pack Tactics. Increasing damage of all champions by 200% for every kobold in the formation, including Spurt. Buffed by an extra 100% per every other kobold in formation, while Spurt is a spirit. With even just 1 stack, my Spurt's already giving a 1E5 bonus. And then that's just on top of also giving a stack of Desmond's Lament the Lost, which at 4 stacks is up to 4E19! Oh my god! That's so much! I didn't realize it was that ridiculous. Whew! Wow. Alright, Desmond, you do your thing. Have fun with it, buddy. You are doing just fine. Raphael. Question. I have enough time gate pieces, and I'm missing Keelik, Korth, and Artemis. Which of them would you recommend I do next? Those are the only ones you're missing? Wow. Wow. You're doing great work then. Very good progress. So Keelik, Korth, and Artemis. Of those 3, Korth is the lowest priority. So you're really between Keelik and Artemis. As I was just saying, Artemis is awesome and fun, but requires some significant investment to really get going. Keelik, on the other hand, works right out of the box. Very powerful healer and support. Sure, same slot as Briv, but you can't always use Briv. Plus, maybe you want another Aarakocra for Ashar's Potpourri, for example. Keelik can also be used in a lot of variants that other champions in his slot can't be used for. Oh yeah, and a magic base attack. Good point, Foolish, yeah. So also works well with Olkoria-based formations. Yeah, so I would strongly recommend Keelik as your priority there, Raphael. You're welcome. I don't think you'll regret it. Keelik is a good pickup, honestly. Oh yes, and a hero of Herois! So if you enjoy using Ayla or Sentry or Lucius, then Keelik is also good for that too. Rangzor. Greetings, Mars and chat. Considering my investment of gems. 26 champions unlocked. 16 epics equipped across all champions. Do I spend the 15,000 gems on gold chests, or get my third familiar? Third familiar is a big help, because once you have 3, they can pick up all of the stuff that's on the field. If you already had 3, and the option was between chests or your 4th familiar, I would say chests. 4th familiar, not as important. But going from 2 familiars to 3 familiars, that's a big one. So, yeah, I'm gonna actually suggest that you go for the familiar in that case. You're welcome. Joe DA. I'm going to get a gold champion soon. I've narrowed it down to Rust or Freely. Which one should I do? Freely. Next question. They're both good. They're both really good. But you're going to get more value out of Freely. If you were going to pick up 2 gold champions, then I would say yes, get Freely and get Rust. But if it's got to be between the 2, go Freely. Jamek Unyielding. Hey Mars, who favorite Big Bad? Vecna? Tarask? Asmodeus? Orcus? Tiamat? Acererak? Another? Pray tell. I love this question. Jamek, you ask some of the best questions. Okay. I'm a big fan of the big bads in Dungeons & Dragons lore. Whether it's the gods, or the archfiends, or the dukes of Avernus, or whatever, like, there's so many cool villains in the stories of Dungeons & Dragons. I would like to turn your attention to, in the days of 3rd edition, 3.5 edition specifically, a book came out that was titled Elder Evils. And Elder Evils was my jam, because this was an entire book that was just like, here's a book with like 10 chapters, and each chapter is a world-ending supervillain for you to play through a storyline for. Whoa! Cool! Okay. So, like, what are the options here? One of them is the worm that walks. If you're familiar with that at all. That is one of them. One of the Elder Evils. So, Foolish Genius! There you go! The Undead Moon! Atropos. That's my favorite. That's my favorite big bad in Dungeons & Dragons. Because it's the freaking moon! It's a planet that wants to kill you! How do you stop that? it's wild to think that they made a mini storyline where you're up against the moon. It's amazing. Yeah. So the idea is that when the universe became, when the multiverse happened, Atropos also happened, and Atropos was like the discarded afterbirth of the multiverse, something like that. Like and it is sentient. It is a planet that is sentient, and it hates all living things. It hates life itself. It hates creation. It wants to return everything to that null point before the multiverse existed. So, what it does is it just silently drifts through the multiverse very slowly, and occasionally it just detects life on some planet somewhere, and then it turns and it starts moving directly toward that planet full of life. And as it gets closer to the planet that has life, bad things start to happen. Like, I think step 1 is all divine magic stops. Like, the influence of the gods just cuts off. The gods can't save you now. You're on your own. I think eventually, like, healing magic of any kind stops working. All undead that currently exist get superpowered. And, like, when it's really close, everything that is dead rises up as undead. It just animates dead on the entire planet. Every dead thing becomes zombie mode. So, like, now you have zombie apocalypse running amok on the entire planet. All because of that moon up there that hates you. That has a personal grudge against you and everyone you know and love. And the only way to actually stop it is to go to the moon. You have to go leave your planet, go there, and you have to fight the Atropal Scion, which is like a physical incarnation of its mind. And it's this terrifying Lovecraftian Cthulhu-type monster. And it's like challenge rating 20+. And if you can beat that, you haven't destroyed Atropos. Atropos just like, okay, I'll come back later when you're more vulnerable. I will wait until this generation is done, and I'll come back in a few thousand years or something. And Atropos leaves. And then Atropos will come back, eventually. But in the meantime, it'll go out and doom a whole bunch of other civilizations. And that's my favorite big bad in Dungeons & Dragons, Atropos. Because how do you even stop that? How do you fight the moon? I think that's so cool. I would love to run a campaign that features Atropos. God, it'd be so epic. Yeah, moon presence slain. Yes. Yes, it's very Bloodborne. Yeah. Thank you for asking, Jamick. That was a great question. Really sent me on a ride there. Joe D.A., do you have baby Dark Mantle? I do, and in fact, it's on the field right now. There's my baby Dark Mantle. He's cute. Super cute. I love that little guy. You had to walk away for 5 minutes and came back to the same question. Yeah. I'm a passionate person. I would hope that you all know that by now. So I can really get a fire under me about whatever it is that I'm talking about. Reds fan, where can I go to get freely? You can get freely from a time gate. Sorry, volume was off. Can you repeat all that? No. Go back and watch the VOD. But yeah, you can pick up freely from time gate. Boop, 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 boop. Where are you? There you are. Makes sense. Toward the top of the popularity chart right now. Is freely recent enough to be coming up in an event? Let's check. Oh, here we go. All right. So when the Founders Day event is coming up, we'll have the return of Sergeant Knox and the return of Freely and the debut of Someone New. But that's a few events from now. We got to get through the running first, and then we got to get through the Great Modron March, and then Dragon Down, and then it'll be time for Founders Day, and you'll be able to get Freely. So if you can wait a few months, you'll be able to pick up Freely for free. Lee. Haha. But if you can't wait that long, you can just do a time gate. Bill Slowski. Question. Good morning, Mars. Good morning. I'm about 9 champions away from having them all. Nice. 6 time gate champions, and Rhea, and Xeraphon, and Belushi. How do I get Rhea and Xeraphon? Ah, okay. I can help you with this. To unlock Rhea, Rhea is an evergreen champion from Baldur's Gate Descended to Avernus. You have to play through the storyline of Baldur's Gate Descended to Avernus until you get to here. This is the second to last camp. And she's right here. Rhea Reborn. This is a variant of the Idle Glen adventure. If you can complete Rhea Reborn, you will unlock Rhea. Only champions with strength of 10 or higher and charisma 13 or higher can be used. This is the same restriction as Zariel Patron variants. In each area, additional fiends sent by Zariel appear. One random fiend spawns at the end of the first wave. An additional fiend is added to every 100 areas. Each fiend has a unique buff or effect on the area. Complete area 625. You must have completed 40 Descended to Avernus adventures or variants in order to even do this one. So, it's a bit of a hike until you're able to start this one, but once you can complete it, and be careful. The higher stages can be very challenging for players. At least once a week I'll get somebody in here asking for help with Rhea Reborn specifically. So, it can be difficult. For Xeraphon, you have to play through Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. And eventually, you will get access to a Lesson in Classes, which is a variant of the Fall of Yithrin, the final adventure in this one, in this campaign. And if you can complete a Lesson in Classes, which has a lot going on, then you will unlock Xeraphon. Complete Area 725. Xeraphon joins the formation for this adventure to see what it's like to fight alongside the champions. They don't attack, they're just here to observe. Only one champion of each class can be included in the formation at any time. Multi-class champions count for all of their classes. Xeraphon does not have a class for this variant. In an attempt to distract and confuse the enemies, Xeraphon transforms into the first enemy who spawns in each area, increasing damage against that type of enemy by 100% for the rest of the area. So you are down 1 spot of your formation because you have an NPC escort, Xeraphon, and you can only use uniquely classed champions. So, your formation strategy is really pushed to the limit here. You have to be so careful who you're choosing to use. Thankfully, you can freely move people around and replace them. So you can experiment with different things until you figure out the combination that works for you. And if you really struggle with it, make sure to tune into Formation Save on Tuesdays, specifically Tuesdays, and you can submit your Lesson in Classes run for Sean and Taylor to help you. On Tuesdays. Not Thursdays. Just don't tell them that I sent you. Zhuang, question. If you pick up everything anyway, why is 3 familiars so important? Picking up gold and items a minute faster doesn't seem like a big deal. It isn't at first. But once you have gone through a million adventure resets, that minute shaved off per adventure really adds up to a lot of time saved in the long run. So it's a big improvement over time. It is a small improvement initially. But each run that you're using multiple familiars on the field, so that they're picking things up off the ground, is going to help you out. No, I don't mean Thursdays, I mean Tuesdays. Tuesdays. Specifically Tuesdays. Yeah, Sin Lesson in classes to Sean and Taylor on Tuesdays. Not Thursdays. You can send them on Thursdays too. I'm just trying to be funny. Oh, yes, definitely helpful for speedruns. Yep, because you want to go as fast as possible for speedruns. Set up your motion automation to reset. And go again, and make sure that it's loading familiars on the field. Like, you can just compare what going to, like, stage 30 in Mad Wizard looks like without 3 familiars on the field. And then compare that with what it does look like with 3 familiars on the field, and it ends up making a large difference. In fact, we could probably test that. Well, we still have quite a ways to go on this 100 stages. We'll be able to beat this. But I might not have time to do anything else. We'll see. Willie 1 Kenobi. Is it possible to run a background party with no familiars? Is it possible? Yes. Would I suggest doing that? No. You can. Like, what you could do, and it's what I often do for my Epic account, if I'm gonna run a background party, I'll set up my formation, and I'll go ahead and level them all up as much as I can, choosing their specializations and all that. Like, I'll level them up as much as I can, and then I'll put them in the background. But if you don't have, like, any familiars and you're trying to, like, automate a background party, it's not really gonna work. You'll be able to have your starting champion, whether it's Brunor or whoever is in your slot 1, they will come out because they are always available at the start, but then they won't be leveled up. So it'll be a level 1 Brunor versus the world, and hoping to get past whatever you have set for your automation goal. As long as you keep it really low, it might work. But it ain't gonna be pretty. Subby Snake. Question, who is your favorite D&D NPC? From lore? Like, from Forgotten Realms lore, specifically? That's hard. It would probably be one or more of the deities, the gods and goddesses of the pantheon of the Forgotten Realms. But I feel like that's not a very compelling answer, because isn't the plight of mortals so much more interesting? I feel like I don't have one. I feel like I really don't have, like, a favorite, like, mortal NPC from Forgotten Realms lore. I like a lot of them, but picking one favorite, that's a lot harder than villains. Especially because most of the time when I run campaigns, it's all homebrew stuff. So I have a lot of love for NPCs that I have invented, and ones that might not necessarily exist in established canon Forgotten Realms lore. So, I don't know, I'll just say Elminster, I guess. Not a great answer, but it's an answer, I suppose. Reds fan question, Mars, would this moon have run into Vecna's hand in the multiverse? I mean, potentially. Yeah, you could do all kinds of things. Your story, your version of the Forgotten Realms is always up to you. Like, whatever the DM wants to do. I think it would be pretty rad if there was, like, an Atropos Vecna team-up of some kind. I could see that. Oh, man! Oh, man! Oh, no! Oh, I gotta write this down. Like, Vecna discovering that Atropos is a thing that exists, and then doing what they can to attract the attention of Atropos. So, like, that's Vecna's doomsday plan, is to call down Atropos on the world. That's a campaign. That would be... That'd be like Majora's Mask, but D&D with Zombies edition. That's really cool. Let's write that down. Vecna plus Atropos. Plus Majora's Mask. Yeah, that's a cool idea. I'm enjoying the brainstorming that we've got going on here, chat. Sobi Snake, what's your favorite magic weapon in D&D? Oh, okay. This one we can do. There's a few. Let's see. I will turn your attention to, once again, a book from 3.5 edition Dungeons & Dragons called Weapons of Legacy. I loved this book because it elevated magic items from just like, here's a trinket that does a thing, to here's like an artifact with a long and storied history, and you have to bond with it by completing these like trials where it tests your mettle to unlock further power. It's a weapon that levels up with you. As you get stronger, so does the weapon. I thought that was so cool! I love that. I came up with so many custom Weapons of Legacy. But that book also has example Weapons of Legacy in it, and one of them that I think was really neat is one named, I think it's called Exordius. I think that's the name. I could be wrong, but I think it's called Exordius. And that one always stood out to me. I never had Exordius myself. A party member in a campaign that I was playing in was a paladin who had Exordius. Only the catch was he wasn't actually a paladin. He was a fighter who thought he was a paladin. He thought he was called to sacred divine service, but in fact he was not. But he came into possession of Exordius. And Exordius is like an evil blade. It's an evil sword. But it can be redeemed. You can, like, save its soul, basically, and make it turn back. Like, it was a good weapon that fell to evil. But you can redeem it and make it turn back to good. And he did that. My friend in that campaign, he used Exordius for the entire campaign and was able to redeem it. And I thought that was such a cool, compelling story. Like, his character, Corellos, was just as important as the sword that he wielded. It was almost like he was playing two characters, one the person and one the sword. So that particular weapon, Exordius, always has a special place in my heart because of my friend Tom. Joe DA, question, which champions have the best and worst fashion senses? I think Nova has the best. Oh. Are we counting skins? Or only looking at, like, base skins? Because I think that, that brings a lot to the table. Whether we're counting all skins or not. Because some champions have a lot to choose from. Havilar, Baloth, plenty of others. And some champions have no other skins. With and without? Oh boy. Okay. Love Turiel. Oh, man. Orkira? With the Shadowfell look? This is cool. This is super cool to me. But it's not very practical, is it? Like, the feathers, they're just, like, glued on there, right? Because fashion, I think, should be both looks and functionality, right? If you're in an adventuring world. Although there's also magic, but not every character is capable of using magic to keep their clothes clean and mended. Or Kira probably could, so maybe she's fine, actually. I mean, the Brig, Ascendant Brig, is a bold statement. That is a bold choice. But I don't think I would put him in contention for best fashion. I don't think I would. This is all extremely subjective, of course. Oh, man. Baloth, Ascendant Baloth. Now, this is an attention grabber. Or rather, Shadowfell Baloth, yeah. Baloth knows how to make an entrance. Pirate Baloth? Even Red Panda Baloth. Like, all of these... This guy walks into the room, everyone pays attention. We're just gonna ignore the guy wielding... the Wand of Orcus walking into the room? No, you're gonna pay very close attention to someone who walks in holding that. There are some really good choices as far... Like, look at Pirate Freely! Look at this dapper little guy! That is a good look on Freely, honestly. Ascendant Frida. That's gorgeous. I love cloaks and robes. And I love contrast. And I feel like there's a lot of cool, like, colors going on here between, like, Frida's skin tone and her hair and the color of the magic that's on her hands, obviously, and then the clothes itself. Like, there's some really good contrast going on here. I really like that. Archdruid Gosrick, also, I think, a strong choice. You see this guy and you immediately know what he's about. There's a giant snowflake emblem right there on his chest. He's got snow on his hood. You immediately know this guy must love ice cream. This guy runs an ice cream truck empire. You gotta respect that. Mind Flayer Hitch. Oh, man. If we could just, like, tuck the tentacles in, just, like, make the tentacles go away, maybe tie them back or something. Because the tentacles are a little off-putting. But ignoring that, this is a good look. This is a very cool costume that he's got on. I love that he keeps his hair. Even as a Mind Flayer, he keeps that perfect hair. I really like Barovian Witch Birdsong, but I don't like the sticks coming out of the hat at the top. I don't like the sticks. The rest of it's great, but I think if we took the sticks off, that'd be better. Ooh, Icewind Dale Dritz, or even Champion Dritz too. Both are also very good. Oh, I love the angles on this. The line work on the armor is so good here, and the fur trim, like, it's not too much. Like, I feel like Icewind Dale Dritz, it makes sense why there's so much fur, because he's in Icewind Dale. It's super cold up there. But for just general use, I feel like it's too much. Champion Dritz, though, that's good. And I like the embroidery on the hood very much. Okay, of course we're going to mention Nova. Because, hello, Valkyrian Empire Nova. Arguably the coolest skin in the game. The colors alone. Wow. It's like if Neon was evil. Amazing. Okay, that was fun, talking about fashion. Alright, Grown McGavin. Only been playing a few days. Is your party moving so fast because of speed champions? I actually don't have any speed champions on the field right now. A moment ago, I had some other champions out here. So I had Freely out here, I had Warden out here, and I had Birdsong out here. There we go. And let's see. Yep, none of these champions are speed champions. However, I am using the Fast Modron Core. See, Fast Core right there. And the Fast Modron Core is the Modron Core that you get by completing Split the Party 2. Specifically, not Split the Party 1, but Split the Party 2. It's the second one, the one where you get your third adventuring party. And it has a few different output nodes that increase the speed of the game. Like this one, enemies have a 50% chance to drop 2 quest items at once or count for 2 kills at once. Time accelerates and everything moves 1.5 times faster. Enemy spawn speed is increased by 50%. And then I also just have all of the gold nodes also at epic output, as well as this one, which reduces the amount of gold required to level up champions. Which means that I'm able to afford upgrades faster, which helps especially if I'm leveling up my speed champions specifically. I'm not using speed champions right now, but the other speed effects on that Modron Core do matter. So that is the only speed effect that I currently have employed, is my Fast Modron Core. Honest Squared. Question. Mars. Is it a flawed strategy to manually timegate Kreidel so that I have more time to focus on getting Dungeon Master purple? I don't tend to earn enough bounties or chests to turn 2 champions purple. Oh. Oh. Okay, so let's think. It's an argument of resources for this, right? It'll cost you 6 time gate pieces to open a manual time gate for Kreidel. So if you're just drowning in time gate pieces, like I am, then that's fine. But if it is a more scarce resource for you, then other champions are probably more worth it to do a time gate, of course. But you're asking specifically for the purpose of having one fewer complication when it comes to the next event. Yeah, you might get lucky and get Kreidel from a time gate tomorrow, because we have a free time gate coming up in 1 day, 3 hours, and 33 minutes. You might get lucky there. You might. That's a chance. So at least wait to see who you get from the free time gate. And then, yeah, if you get Kreidel, go ahead and do that. But if when it comes to, like, actually investing time gate pieces, if you had to do so manually, let's think. If you're playing the event, we're going to have the return of Kreidel and the return of Shaka and the release of Dungeon Master. A lot of people recently got Shaka for free from the Rivals codes that were given out. But not everybody's going to have Shaka already. So maybe you're in that position where you got Shaka already, but you don't have Kreidel. You should at least unlock Kreidel, of course. But is Kreidel worth putting 6 time gate pieces into just so you can spend more time with Dungeon Master on gearing him up? Well, if you have decided that Kreidel is worth doing a time gate for, so that you can just focus on Dungeon Master when the event actually comes out, then what's to stop you from just ignoring Kreidel in the event completely for now and doing Kreidel in a time gate later? Kreidel's not a priority champion at the end of the day. He just isn't. You could just keep waiting for free time gate weekends, and eventually one of them should offer Kreidel, and then you can do that. So you could just completely ignore him for now. I'm going to still do my normal thing of doing all the discounted free plays for everybody, and then just going all in on the new one. We're gonna play so much of the event on this show. So much. You're gonna see me do, like, more free plays than you've ever seen me do for an event. It's gonna be awesome. Alright, we can go ahead and end this now. Yeah, if you need to get him for Split the Party, that's a whole nother story. But there's better slot 2 champions that you can pick for Split the Party, like Donar or Whittle. Okay, I think one thing I wanted to show was the difference that having familiars on the field makes. Okay, so I'm going to load my speed team. Sure. Alright, so here's my speed team with no familiars. And we're going to let this go to stage 30. So this was starting at... Cool. Okay, so that was at 9:30? Or... What time is it in Pacific time right now? 8:30? Yeah. So I started at 8:30. And we'll see how long this takes to get to stage 30. It is so tempting to move my cursor to pick things up, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Alright, Raphael, 90340. Would you say free play complete 750 with 9 champions of unique classes? You could do it? Lesson classes? On my Steam account, I could absolutely do that. On my Epic account, no. I don't believe I could right now, actually. There's still a long way to go on my Epic account. I really tripped over my words there. Like, I don't have any patron perks yet. I haven't finished all of my blessings yet. My Mojang cores are still very weak. There's a lot that I could still do to power things up. Oh yeah, Mojang cores! I probably have leveled up to 3 now on my Epic account. That's exciting. Oh, Raphael, do you mean, like, as a thought exercise, like, if you could do it, maybe? Okay, would you say, if you can complete 750 with 9 champions of unique classes, then you could do lesson in classes? And if, okay, gotcha, okay. You know, it's fun. That's actually, the same method that I have used myself in the past. Like, for unlocking Azaka, I used to go to the Tomb of Annihilation free play, the Tomb of the Nine Gods free play, and just not have anyone in my center spot of the formation. And then that effectively simulates the variant of Asaka's Procession Part 2. And then if I was able to get past the goalpost in that free play, then I knew that it was possible for me to do the variant. So, yeah. If you can beat... I think it's, I think you actually have to beat 775? Let's double check. Here's Icewind Dale. Lesson in classes. 725. Okay, so if you can beat 750 in a free play with 9 champions in this formation shape, you're missing out on the spot in the back that has 6 adjacent champions. So if you can beat 750 in a free play with 9 champions missing that slot specifically, then and of unique classes, then yeah, I think you're ready for lesson in classes. Good luck to you. It's a challenge, but if you can get that far in a free play, I think you're ready for it. Good luck. You lose nothing but time in the attempt anyway, so you might as well just give it a shot. And I would love to know if it is successful for you. I'd love for you to come back with a success story for us. Star Chaser, question. Does the Thursday Marchand formation save look at the formations differently than on Tuesday? Been dying to throw out the punishment. Sorry. No, you have nothing to apologize for. We don't look at formations differently outside of just the fact that Taylor and I are different human beings who have a different lens on the world and how we react to it. We went past 30. We'll go to 50. We'll go to 50 and then reset it. Foolish Genius, question, who is a better dad, Mehen or Brunor? I don't know enough about their fatherly tendencies to really comment on that. But you know what? I think I think that they wouldn't compete with one another. I think if you put them in a best dad competition, the two of them would just, like, share fatherly advice and wisdom at each other, and then when they realize that they, like, more or less agreed on the way to do things, yeah, they would hang out. They would probably, like, I don't know, they put on some socks with sandals and go do a grill out on the yard or something. They would go do some dad things, I guess. I think, yeah, if you tried to get them into a dad competition, I think that they would dismantle the entire concept. Flamebeard, will Kreidel even be available in the free time gate when his event starts on Wednesday? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I guess since his event is the next one coming up, guess not. But still, he's not a priority. You can just wait for a future free time gate. Okay, here comes the end here. Alright, so I'm seeing 8:37 on the clock. Alright, let's complete this. So, that took 7 minutes, having no familiars on the field. Now let's see how fast we can clear stage 50 with familiars on the field. And away we go! So that was 7 minutes, no familiars, but using speed champions and fast Modron core. So like the most speed that I could get just with no familiars. And now the most speed that I could get with familiars. So the only difference that we've made is whether we have familiars or not. And we'll see just how much of a difference this makes. Brass Knuckles, yo! New to the game! Hey! Welcome to Idle Champions. Happy to have you. I hope you enjoy your time with us. Cheers. What's the long-term playability of the game? Oh, buddy. Oh boy. I've got things to say. I don't want to spend money unless I feel I'm going to stick with it. And do you need to spend money to get the best stuffs? Yes or no? Yes and no. Okay, so it's like, first of all, the bread and butter of the game is collecting all of the different characters themselves. They're called champions. And then using those champions to play through the game's content, which is adventures and adventure variants, and the Trials of Mount Tiamat, patron variants, events and time gates, and all of those things, collecting champions and playing through the game's actual content, all of that totally free to play. You don't have to spend money on doing any of that. In fact, this account that I'm playing right here, this one, like, I've got everything, including, like, all the premium paid stuff. But I actually have a second account running on my show. So this account's on Steam. My other account is on Epic. And if I pull that up... So here's my second account. This one's on Epic. This one is purely free to play. And I have already collected... This is my character collection so far. I have 47 out of 99 characters so far. I started this account on December 1st last year, so it's about 5.5 months old now. Oh yeah, my Motron core leveled up. Let's go ahead and open up this chest. Nice. The stuff that you actually spend money on is content packs and chests. You can also spend money to unlock champions, but you don't have to, because you can unlock all the champions for free by just playing the game. Chests will give you gear to power up your champions. A lot of champions don't even need a lot of gear to work, and you can get gear for champions without spending money. Your core champions that you start the game with, as well as your evergreen champions, that's what we call champions that are always available for you to unlock. For example, you can get the character Hitch from just signing up for the newsletter, so he's an evergreen champion. You can unlock the character Dritz by just playing far enough in the storyline of Grand Tour the Sword Coast campaign, so he's an evergreen champion. All of your evergreen champions, you can get gear for them out of regular silver and gold chests, which can just drop from bosses that you fight. So you can farm those up pretty easily. Electrum chests can give gear for literally every single character that you own, including the special event champions. And we give out like 70 Electrum chests every week. Because, like, this right above my head, this is a chest code. You can actually plug this into your game to get an Electrum chest. Direct before. Bloop. Just like that. It's that easy. You get an Electrum chest that way. And when you open up an Electrum chest, you get some gems, you get contracts, you get potions, and you get a piece of gear for somebody that you have. Nothing's ever wasted. All of your gear is, like, combined together. So as far as the long-term playability of the game goes, that's the other half of your question, right? Brass Knuckles? I hope that you're still here. I don't know if you're still here. The other half of your question, what's the long-term playability of this game? Oh, buddy. I started playing this game, this account specifically, on September 22nd, 2017. There is still stuff that I haven't done. Oh man, we went straight past stage 50 because I was answering this question. Man, okay. Let me reset this. I wasn't paying attention. I got excited answering this person's question. Alright, it's 8:43. Let's see how long it takes to get to stage 50. This time, actually paying attention. Come on, Mars. Come on. Anyway, there's a ton of stuff to do. There's over 600 achievements to complete. That's a lot. So, like, here's all the ones that I haven't done yet. I still have 11 to do. Some event ones as well. Like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 from events that I haven't done yet. Oh, man. Here's a big thing. Patrons. So every adventure variant that you complete then becomes available for you to do the patron version of that variant. So there's 4 patrons, which means that every adventure variant that exists, there's actually 5 times that you need to do it. The base version, and then the Mert patron version, the Vajra patron version, the Strahd patron version, and the Zariel patron version. Each one drastically different because each patron changes which champions you're allowed to use. Only good or evil champions for Mert. Only champions with a Constitution score of 14 or higher for Vajra. Only champions with an Intelligence score of 13 or higher for Strahd. Only champions with a Strength score of 10 or higher, and a Charisma score of 13 or higher for Zariel. Completing the patron variants then gives you, like, rewards unique to that patron, influence that you can spend on patron perks to get even more power. And I haven't even finished. I haven't finished all of my patron perks yet. Oh. Nice. There's still plenty for me to do to finish up my patron perks. It'll tell you, like, your completion percentage. I'm 63% done with my Mert patron variants and my Vajra patron variants. My Strahd patron variants, I'm only 52% done. My Zariel patron variants, I'm only 17% done. There's a lot to do. Every 3 weeks, there's an event that comes out that introduces a new character to unlock and gear up and do challenges for. Every 3 weeks. And then, in between each event, there is almost always a content update. Like this week. This week was one of those. And they added 10 new adventure variants to do. 10 variants. And I just said that each one that's added is actually 5 things to do, because there's 4 patron versions of each variant. So there's basically, they just casually dropped in 50 new adventure variants for us to play through this week. So there is a lot of stuff to do in this game. It looks simple from the outside looking in, right? Like when you're just browsing through the Steam store or whatever and you see this game. But it's deceptive. The well runs deep in this game. There's a lot to do. Oh, 50-ish, so some of them are mathematically impossible, like the content under plus voucher. That makes sense, yeah. That one probably just isn't even allowed, I bet. Okay, I'm gonna pay attention here. Got my timer. Looking at my timer here, because we're about to clear stage 50. It's looking like this is gonna be done on like exactly 4 minutes. I think it was like 43:23. And boom. Yeah, 47:27, 28. There you go. So, looks like that was exactly 4 minutes to go from stage 1 to 50 with my full speed team, plus my full epic fast Modron core, plus having familiars on the field. So that's a 3-minute difference between having no familiars and not manually picking things up, to having all familiars on the field, picking everything up automatically. 3 minutes for 50 stages. And that's going to be even more, like, the deeper you go. So having familiars on the field does make a huge difference, especially over time. This is just one Mad Wizard run to 50. I'll do like 100 of these a day. It ends up shaving off an enormous amount of time in the long run. Joe D, yay! Question, is Sentry a good tank and not just a good speed champion? Yes, actually, on my Epic account, I've been using her as a tank more than I've been using her as a speed champion. Because she qualifies for Exotic Bond for Ashara. So yeah, I would say the Sentry is actually pretty good. Ooh, Merrick asking the question of the day right here. Thank you. Merrick's question, are you all excited about D&D's 2022 announcement showcase? It's starting shortly. Yes, I am. I am very excited. In fact, we're going to be raiding their channel. So stick around. We're going to be trying to, like, cut Guiding Hand close to the top of the hour so that we can then go raid the D&D channel. Which is why I'm not, like, leaving early like I normally do. We're going to try to go, like, close to the top. Jamick Unyielding, who's in this event again besides Kreidel? And who's coming next? Okay, so... that's a good question. Expand all! Scroll down to the bottom. So, for the next event, which is the running, we have the return of Kreidel, and the return of Shaka, and the debut of Dungeon Master. Very excited about that. That's so cool. Yeah, we're going to be playing a lot of Dungeon Master free plays on this channel, on this stream. And then after that, we've got the Great Modron March, which will have the return of Mehen, and the return of Jaheira, and the debut of someone new. Really hoping we have the Mehen fix by the time his event comes around. That would be nice. It'd be nice to get that third specialization going in time for his own event, because I'm sure a lot of people will be using Mehen at the time. It would be nice if we have that by then. After that, the Dragon Down event, we have the return of Nova, very cool, and the return of Celise, and the debut of someone new. I like Nova, I like Celise. Good tank options here, slots 11 and 12. For Founders Day, we'll have the return of Freely. That's a powerful choice. And Sergeant Knox, who is kind of middling. Midsummer, we'll have the return of Beetle and Grimm. There's a good pickup. They qualify for so many things. Because if one qualifies, then the other one does too. So that you can use them in so many places. And the return of Eliwick. Wow. Can't believe it will have been a full year that we've had Eliwick. It does not actually feel that long. Although we're talking months in advance at this point, so that's probably why it doesn't feel that long. And then we've got Egg Heron's Day. Or Egg Heron's Day, haha. With the return of Omen and the return of Prudence. And then Bright Swords, the final event in the yearly rotation. We'll have the return of Lazaps and Corazon. And then someone new, of course, as we always do. Oh, you started when Eliwick came out, J-Mick. Cool. That'll be your 1-year anniversary, huh? Neat. It feels like you've been here longer than that. But maybe that's just because I see you around so often. Raphael, question. Did they fix Mehen's ability to call his daughters? Nope. That we don't have that specialization for Mehen yet. Soon enough, I guess, eventually. I am waiting patiently / impatiently, like many of the rest of you are. Ooh! Ooh, 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 ooh. Y'all, the D&D stream the channel timer has apparently started. Jordan just let me know. So, I think now would be a good time for us to wrap up so that we can raid the channel and we can say hello to everybody and give people time to get cozy over there. So, yeah, let's do that. I will be in chat as well, so I will be joining the rest of you over there. All right, let's do it. I'm so excited for this. Come on, Spelljammer. Come on, Spelljammer. I'm gonna be excited whatever it is, but I'm really hoping for Spelljammer. Anyway, thank you all for joining me for this episode of Mars Guiding Hand. I will see you all again next time. I will be back for community Q&A with Sean later today. And then, of course, Guiding Hand itself will also be back tomorrow morning for Friday. You can follow Idle Champions on social media on the platform of your choice. You can find me on Twitter at Ryan Blake Hall, but please call me Mars. That's my preference. Thank you to Codename Entertainment. Thank you, Jordan, for moderating and producing and catching questions for me today, and for setting up the raid. And thank you, everyone, for watching. And stay tuned, as we are going to head over to the D&D Twitch channel to see their D&D Direct announcement. Wherever you are in the multiverse, be kind. Be good. Make fair, responsible decisions. Make someone smile today. And until a few minutes from now, because I will also be in chat with you, look sharp. Alright. Stay right here. Merrick, I'm not Todd. I'm Mars, don't you know?